Alright, as I stated, we're going to talk about a 3-pawn sack strategy, and in order to make it effective, this pawn push is necessary, and black can respond by pawn to 3-6 and pawn to 9-4, and black can complete the castle, and knight to 3-7. The trade is a little bit in black's favor because black can fight back from the right side, right? And first, white can sacrifice the rook pawn, and pawn takes, and the second pawn sack, and pawn to 7-5. And if you see this, never take this one, because if you do, then white can sacrifice the lance to just gain one pawn, and if you take it back, pawn drop to 7-6 is strong, and basically it has to move back, and then he can penetrate the 8 file. That's also attacking the lance, so white is better. Instead of taking it, silver to 6-7 is better, and pawn push to 6-5. And obviously, if black takes it, bishop trade happens, right? And then again, he will be able to break through the file. Pawn push to 5-5 seems to be a cool tactic, but instead of taking it, white plays pawn to 6-6. Bishop can't take it, but if silver takes it, white can gain the pawn, and bishop to 5-9. Pawn sack, silver takes, and bishop to 5-5 finally, and black is in the trouble again. So pawn push to 5-5 was bad, and instead black simply takes the pawn, and silver to 7-6. And in order to keep going, white will need to sacrifice the pawn, but then black can trade the bishop, forcing the king to get out of his comfortable zone, and his defense is losing the balance because the king is now exposed, right? And silver to 6-7, and bishop drop. And many years ago, bishop drop to 7-7 was viewed a good counterplay. But since a better move was discovered, this is no longer useful. And instead of the bishop drop, pawn drop to 6-6 is better. Of course, he would take the pawn, right? And pawn drop to 8-8. If he keeps going, black offers rook exchange. If he accepts it, silver takes. White can create a fork, but the black drops back. And if white takes the knight, then black can take the knight as well, attacking the gold. If white does something to defend, for example like this, knight drop to 2-6 is a great way to fight back, because these squares are weak points, so black can target those pawns. So accepting the trade was risky, but what can he do? If he goes back to a2, then black can attack the square. Next, bishop drop to 7-3 will be strong, but if he defends, then black kicks the bishop. Now this square is empty, so this drop is going to be a great move. Now this line is defenseless, and if rook runs, then rook to h6 will be fine. But if he goes to h4 instead, then black can activate the knight. After the promotion, thanks to the knight, black can drop the pawn to h5, and he will have to go back to a2 anyway, and then rook to a6. He would take the lance in order to save the promoted pawn, but then pawn push to h4 is even stronger. Then black can penetrate the h file. Three pawn sack can be tricky sometimes because depending on the move order, you will need to react in different ways. But basic idea is the same. And try to watch this video multiple times so you can learn how to fight back as well. Alright, that's all for this. I hope it's been inspiring. Thanks for watching and see you all next time. Bye.